Hmm. Excuse me, what? Okay, so I'm gonna try to make this quick. This isn't gonna be like an in-depth review or anything. This is just gonna be my basic thoughts. I just saw Star Wars The Last Jedi today. And apparently it has the lowest audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Apparently, according to, you know, the fans or whatever, the audience, the people who went to see the movie, not the critics, but, the audience, apparently thought that this movie was worse than the prequels. I would have to disagree 100%. I mean, I'm not one of those people who, absolutely hates the prequels, mainly because I just kept an open mind and took them for what they were rather than comparing them to the originals like everyone else did. I wasn't a big fan of Attack of the Clones, but other than that, I'm just like, hey, whatever. They ain't all that, but they ain't horrible. But this one I actually found to be, 100% enjoyable. You know, at least compared to the prequels. Even Revenge of the Sith, which is like my personal favorite of the prequels. Of course, even I have to agree that the originals will always reign supreme, but that's just me. And okay, most other people too. But I really need to start writing a script for my videos. Anyway, yeah, what I'm getting at here is I liked it. Now, the critics, they obviously loved the hell out of this movie. I got a 91%, certified fresh according to the critics. And even got like, a 7.8, I think, on IMDb. Or a 7.6, one of those. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with the critics on this one because I really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, I still think The Force Awakens is better to an extent, but as far as this movie goes, it's better than the prequels, and I even think it's better than Rogue One. Which, yeah, I didn't hate Rogue One either. I thought it was decent, but yeah. Obviously, the best so far of the newer Star Wars movies is The Force Awakens, but The Last Jedi is really good too, in my opinion. And I just don't understand, the whole audience thing though. It seems for some reason or another the critics thought this movie was better than the fans did. Apparently the fans were like really disappointed by this one, but all the critics are digging the hell out of it. Like I said, I'm gonna have to go with the critics on this one now. I'm not saying everybody hates this movie. It's. I went to the theater today, and there were a pretty decent amount of people there. Although I did hear a couple of people making comments when the movie was over. They may or may not have been negative comments, but overall, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I had a really good time. Um, it was fairly action packed. Not the most action packed Star Wars movie, but it was action packed enough. It they had a little bit of comedy thrown in there. Like all the best Star Wars movies have their funny moments, moments that'll get a chuckle or two out of you. Obviously, Star Wars movies are mostly serious, but I every once in a while, one of the characters would make like a smart-ass comment, and I always get a kick out of that. Um, you know, it was just action-packed enough. It was just funny enough. Uh, it was just emotional enough. It had a pretty good plot. Um, Obviously the originals will always have the better plot, and the prequels will always have the slightly weaker plot. Although, if the prequels were written a little better and had better actors, maybe would have been better. Maybe not had such a shit script. But I'm not here to talk about those. Um, I have not made this type of video in a long time. This whole unscripted, boring, no footage from the movie whatsoever videos, but I feel like this warranted that. I might do, a full-on review of this later, but for now, this is just my thoughts. This is me telling you I enjoyed the movie. I thought it had a good plot. It was, excuse me, fairly action-packed. Like I said, had its emotional moments, had its funny moments. Wisecrack, a good wisecrack or two. But yeah, 2 years from now, it should be 2 years from now, there's gonna be another Star Wars movie. Next year is gonna be, I think, like the young Han Solo movie, and it's Solo, a Star Wars story. It's weird that they've been, putting out Star Wars movies like every year now. I don't know how long that's gonna go on, just a new Star Wars movie every fucking year, but 2 years from now we can expect Star Wars Episode 9, and I'm fucking looking forward to it, because love them or hate them, gotta admit the prequels were not all that, but the modern trilogy, starting with The Force Awakens and then this movie, and then is gonna end with Episode 9. Still not as good as the originals, but definitely definitely a huge ass improvement over the prequels, and yeah, I'm just glad Star Wars is a thing again, because it's honestly my favorite movie franchise, and it's probably a pretty obvious choice, but I grew up with the Star Wars movies, so I'm not gonna be one of those guys who hates on Star Wars just because everybody else loves it. I like Star Wars, and anyone who watches my videos probably knows this. I reference Star Wars a lot. But this'll be the end of this little rant thoughts video on The Last Jedi. If I ever do make a review, maybe I'll tell you what I didn't like about it. But overall, not too disappointing. Like I said, I liked it, and it's not a big deal, but at the same time, it just really kind of bothers me that this movie has the lowest audience score, even if only by a few numbers. Still makes no sense to me. Of course, when when anyone says it has the lowest Rotten Tomatoes score, they're not counting they're not counting Star Wars: The Clone Wars the movie, which apparently both the critics and the fans fucking absolutely hated. Well, I got a bit of a controversial thing to say here. I actually liked The Clone Wars more than Attack of the Clones. I'll end this video on that note, and you people have a good day and shit. And, you know, if you like Star Wars and you haven't seen The Last Jedi yet, you should probably do that. Don't let the 51% audience score fool you. This movie was pretty good. But that's it. Goth out.